It has been a privilege to give voice to the liberty movement in this race, and I believe we have broadened the debate by being part of it. Although today I will suspend my campaign for the presidency, I will continue to fight on for liberty, for the Constitution, for justice in the United States Senate. Thank you, and God bless America.
Another GOP presidential hopeful suspending his campaign. That was Kentucky Senator Rand Paul announcing he is quitting the presidential race following a fifth-place finish in Monday's Iowa caucus. Joining us now with analysis is Wall Street Journal reporter Rebecca Ballhaus. Rebecca, thanks for being with us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Rebecca, Senator Paul makes this announcement just as the other candidates are preparing for the New Hampshire primary next Tuesday. The state, with its live free or die motto, has always held a special place among libertarians. So why now?
So polls were just showing that Rand Paul really wasn't cutting it there. I think an average is showing him in 9th place out of, I think, what was 11 contenders. He had less than 3% support in the polls. And Iowa was a place where he was really expected to do a little bit better than in some of the other early states. It has also this libertarian base. His father finished 3rd there in 2012. But clearly we saw that didn't really happen, and it just wasn't really expected to go uphill for Rand after this.
What is it about his message, then, do you think, that has not resonated with voters so far? Was it a little bit of timing playing into this?
It was definitely a little bit of timing, and it was also that he was stuck in this kind of tricky place where he had a profile that was more mainstream than his father's, and that cost him some support among his father's biggest fans. But he also had this more libertarian profile than seemed like what the party was wanting. So he was calling for reduced foreign intervention at a time when voters' fears are really growing about the Middle East and the growth of ISIS and things like that. So his foreign policy platform really seemed to clash with what people wanted right now.
And certainly growing fears about terrorism at home. Now, is there any indication who his supporters may turn to?
It seems like Ted Cruz is going to be likely the biggest beneficiary. He's already really been courting libertarians in the early states. He's been playing this video at his rallies that shows interviews with former Ron Paul supporters who are now backing him. So he's expected to just continue his efforts going after those voters. And other candidates like Marco Rubio, who finished 3rd on Monday night, he has a foreign policy platform that's a little bit more hawkish than Rand Paul's, so he's expected to do less well with Rand Paul supporters.
And then is there any candidate in your mind that he's more likely to endorse than the others?
It's unclear right now. He hasn't really said anything either way. I'm sure Cruz will be gunning for it, but we haven't heard anything from Rand so far.
So what is next for Senator Paul?
So Senator Paul made the now wise choice earlier this year of engineering a change in Kentucky's presidential nominating process so that he could run for re-election to the Senate and for president at the same time. So while he's suspending his presidential campaign, he's still running for Senate, and it seems like he'll have a real race on his hands. He's going to be running against a Democratic mayor of Lexington, I believe it is. So he's not out of the game, just focusing on the Senate now.
So we're likely to hear more from Rand Paul in the future for sure. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.